guys, hi everyone, it's me Ghost Girl again, and today I'm here with you for another video. Now I did say I was going to do another Q&A, so this is Q&A number 3. I'm going to try and answer as much questions as possible for you guys, although I doubt I'm going to get through all the questions that you guys asked me because there was a lot. But if I need to do a video number 4 to get through all the questions, then I will. There may be some people that are getting a bit tired of these Q&As, but if you are, then please be considerate of our people that have requested these videos and want me to answer their questions. So anyway, I'm having to film outside today, and there's a lot of wildlife out today. The birds seem to be more active than usual, so you'll probably hear a lot of bird cheeping in the background. So I'm going to try and speak a bit louder than what I normally would, but I'm in the secret garden, so if someone comes in where I'm filming, I'm going to have to talk really quietly, so you might need to turn the volume up on your phone or TV or whatever you're watching this on to hear me over the sounds of the birds if people come in. But anyway, I'm going to just get on with it now. So the first question that people were asking me was if I was really a witch. That is true, I am a witch. I do practice the craft. I practice witchcraft. It's not like dogs' tails and girls' piggy tails and skinning rats and all that, like what you see on the telly and that. It's no like that. It's more like using plants and herbs to do things. I wouldn't go about cutting a dog's tail off and a lash's hair out. That's just no right. There is satanic witches that do that, but I'm not one of them. And I think when people hear about pagans, they get confused with Satan worship and stuff like that. I'm not a satanic witch, and paganism is nothing to do with Satan or the devil or that. Most pagans don't even believe in the devil, so it's this weird association with the devil, and I don't want to offend the Christian community, because I know I do have Christians that watch my channel, but this is what I'm going to tell you is historic fact. So basically, the Christians centuries ago during Roman times, when they were spreading their religion over Europe during Roman times, basically thought that paganism was wrong, and they thought the craft was wrong because it was different and they didn't understand it. So the Christians declared war on the pagans and basically tried to stamp out the belief. So basically one of the ways that they did this was what the pagan sun god that pagans celebrate winter solstice is for, they basically took the image of the pagan sun god and labelled it as the devil, and was like, oh yeah, all these pagans worship the devil, they worship the dark, they worship the evilness, when it's not true. Actually, a lot of things from Christianity which are associated with devils and demons and stuff, a lot of the images were actually taken from like early pagan cultures. So don't believe everything that you hear, like just in general about anything. Like always do like further research into everything before you like make a final conclusion about what you're gonna do or what your belief is and how you think about something and how you approach something. Like when I'm doing a report, I won't just for uni, like I just won't use like the one source to reference like my whole report. Like I'll go to like loads of different sources and then gather the information and then write it up in this report, and then I'll write the conclusion, which is like the ending, which is basically the overall like idea at the end, like what I've found from my research. And I'll make the conclusion, and the conclusion will basically be stating what information I found from like all these different sources. So it's the same when you're trying to figure out belief systems and like choosing what you believe. Before you choose to believe in something, always do further research into it, because sometimes things aren't always what they first appear or always what they seem or always as they look. So just bear that in mind. I don't need to offend any of the Christian community or anyone that might be watching this video. I know there's a lot of Christians that are actually very good and they've got pagan friends and they like pagans and have a lot of pagan workmates and pagan colleagues and they get on fine. But I know there's also a lot of Christians that seem to have a lot of misunderstanding about paganism and witchcraft and anything like related to that. So it's just to like clarify like a lot of things for you guys watching. So yeah, people still don't seem to have gotten over the fact that really do practice the craft. I don't know why, because I was being serious in that video, but people seem to think that I was joking, and I don't know why, but I'm going to like further clarify that I was being serious. I do practice the craft. No, it's not like the satanic stuff that you see on the TV. If you do research into paganism or witchcraft or non-satanic related witchcraft, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Or even if you do study the craft, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So someone asked me what attracted you to paganism. Well, as a person, I'm really connected to nature and wildlife and animals, and recently I've become an insect magnet. Like for some reason insects seem to be like really attracted to me, and I have them like flying around me all the time and crawling on me and landing in front of me and landing on my stuff, and it can be a big distraction. So I've always really been attracted to nature and animals and wildlife and everything like that, and I do like to spend time outside and around the wildlife, hence why I film a lot of videos outside, but also because I can't really get peace in the house to film. But I don't really mind it filming outside too much when the weather's nice like this. The day's actually turned out a lot nicer than what it was forecast to be. It was supposed to be really cloudy today and quite cold, so I'm glad that the weather turned out so nice. otherwise I wouldn't be enjoying filming this so much. Basically, paganism it's not about satanicism or the devil or anything like that. It's about nature, the animals, herbs, insects, wildlife, trees and plants. And it's basically having an appreciation for all these things and basically learning to understand these things and connecting with them and showing them the animals and stuff like the respect that they deserve, and basically using all the stuff like the nature and the plants and that to your advantage, and using it to like help you and help other people and help animals and stuff like that. Like, I'm the kind of person that whenever I see an animal in need, like, I can't just leave it, I need to do something, otherwise I'll get really upset or I'll feel guilty about it later. That's like an empath thing, like I'm an empath, so it upsets me when I see like animals hurt and stuff. So when I heard about paganism and I heard about like the appreciation that paganism got for nature and stuff, I was just naturally drawn to it because people that are pagan have this amazing appreciation of nature. I just felt like I had a lot in common with these people and the culture and stuff like that. So that is what attracted me to paganism. And then someone else asked, what got you into the craft? Well, I've always been a witch. I was a natural born witch from a lineage, although I don't really know a lot about my family, as in where my gift came from, who was a witch and all that. I really have no idea, cause most of my family that I live with in Scotland are Christian. They don't believe in that, and they believe that it's wrong and it's bad and stuff like that. So I don't know if it came from them, and I don't really know much about my dad's family because I haven't seen them in a really long time, since I was a small child. But my granddad and his family, well, his parents were travellers, like they were travelling persons. So I'm wondering, does it come from them or is it somewhere else? Like, I don't know. I'd like to do research into my ancestry to find out, but I don't really trust any like companies or scientists to do it. I really don't. So yeah, I was always born a witch, and it started off when I was a kid. Like, I started collecting things. Like, I was naturally drawn to like crystals and bones, and like I used to cut about like the grass with my bare feet and all that. And naturally, as I got older, I just discovered that I had like all these gifts, and I got more and more into it. And it wasn't till I was like about 17, 18 that I figured it out. I know I was quite young when I think about it, but yeah, I started practicing the craft when I was about 17, 18, and I know there's a lot of like covens and that, and these people have been practicing the craft and that since they were children, and they are like witch communities online and stuff. but I find it like really hard to connect to them because a lot of them were born into the craft and stuff, and it is really hard to find someone like me that wasn't born into it and just discovered it. There is a lot of YouTubers out there that are witches and that study the craft, and they do teach people like the craft and stuff. I was thinking of doing the kind of videos later on along the line. But yeah, I'm glad that these people do share their craft online, because it is really difficult to be open about the craft online and expressing it, but these people did help me to figure this thing out, because it was a very difficult thing to figure out and like accept at first. So someone asked me, do I love animals? I would have thought that would have the answer to that question would have been obvious. I love animals so much. I love cats and dogs. My favourite kind of cat as well, I love all cats, but my favourite type of wild cat would probably be the snow leopard, because they're so beautiful. I love dogs. My favourite breed of dog is like breeds. I like little dogs, so I like Shih Tzus, I like pugs, I like German, well they're not a big dog, but I like German Shepherds. I like Staffies and Boxers, I like Bichon Frises, I like Maltese, I like wee Scotty dogs as well. I also like birds, like I like the little birds like the sparrows and the robins and the blue tits, and I like pigeons and doves and seagulls and crows. I also found that I've got a recent fascination for insects, which just kind of came out of nowhere, and I kind of find myself wanting an ant farm and a tarantula, which I don't know where that came from, this fascination. It just kind of came from nowhere. Like, I used to be scared of spiders, but I'm not scared of them anymore, and I actually want one as a pet now, which is just like a total personality flip. I don't know where that came from, but it just did. I love rabbits as well, I love bunnies. Someone asked, why do you love animals so much? Well, believe it or not, this may sound like a stupid question to some people, but it's not a stupid question at all, because it's actually got a really good answer. So basically, the reason I love animals so much is because I have a natural connection to animals, to nature, to plants and all the little critters and stuff. It's just I've always felt like naturally connected to these things, and it's because I'm an empath. If you don't know what an empath is, then I recommend you Google it or look it up on YouTube. But an empath is basically someone that's able to sense like the energy around them and like other people's, and they pick on like other people's emotions and stuff. And as an empath, empaths are normally like really connected to nature and animals. So are witches. A lot of witches will have a strong connection to nature and animals as well. But it's just always something that I've always had, like a very strong connection to like animals and nature and stuff. Someone asked me what is my favourite animal. I think I've already answered that, but if I was to pick one specific animal that would definitely be my favourite overall, it would definitely be the snow leopard. I love it. The snow leopards, they're so beautiful. I actually can't get over how gorgeous they are sometimes. I love them so much. Someone asked, do you like reptiles? I love reptiles. I love snakes and lizards. I like pythons and I like bearded dragons and iguanas and water monitor lizards. Like they're like the reptiles that I love the most. But I like geckos, they're cute. And chameleons, they're really cute. They're so small and cute. But yeah, I love reptiles. A lot of people may be surprised, like a girl that likes reptiles. But yeah, I do like them. Like I would like a snake, like a pet python that I could have like in my house, and I'd let it like slither around my room and stuff. And I love lizards, which is strange because a lot of people, well actually it's not strange, I just like them, but a lot of girls, in fact a lot of people in general don't like reptiles, and I've never understand why, because they're beautiful and they do fascinate me. I do love reptiles. I love snakes as well. Like if I was to see a python, I'd probably go up to it and stroke it, and if it was to let me stroke it, I would. And if it was to let me pick it up, I would. But if it didn't want me to, then I wouldn't, because it wouldn't be nice on the python or the snake. But anyway, so someone asked, what is your favourite reptile? So my favourite reptile would be the albino boa. It's basically a python, but you can get them in, well, it's a boa, which is part of the python family, and they're basically, you can get them in, they can be either yellow or orange. I don't know if you've ever seen Trapped. It was a thing on CBBC years ago where all these kids would go to a tower and they'd need to escape from the mad witch or whatever she was in the tower, and they had to do like all these challenges and work their way from the top all the way down, and every level someone got trapped, and then at the end only one person got out. And there used to be this challenge on Trapped where there was like a yellow, they had to put their hand in the snake pit, and it was like they had to guess where the snake was and where it wasn't, and if they got it, if they managed to get a bit where the snake wasn't, they wouldn't, well they wouldn't actually get bit, but it was like they got bit in the programme, and it was like all this goo would come on them. I think they just put their hand in and they get sprayed, but in the programme they got bit by the snake, and so they put it in, and then they'd get bit, supposedly get bit, and then they'd come out and it'd be like all their hand would be like all goo and stuff. But that used to annoy me, that programme, because the snake in Trapped was an albino boa. It was a yellow snake, and I looked at that snake, I was like, the people who are filming that programme obviously do not know nothing about snakes. That an albino boa doesn't kill its prey by poison and biting. They kill their prey by strangulation, so they'll actually like strangle the prey to death. They don't bite, and they're not venomous. So I don't know where Trapped got, or CBBC or the BBC or whatever got that analogy from, but that used to annoy me when I used to watch that about the snake, because I knew that they weren't poisonous and it was not true, and giving people misinformation. It used to just annoy me watching that as a kid because I knew so much about snakes. Someone asked, do you like insects? So I did mention this earlier. I have developed a recent fascination with insects, and I don't know where it came from. It just came from absolutely nowhere. And now I went from actually being quite afraid of insects to having insects land on me and not even care. Like a fly landed on, when I was filming this video, a fly landed on my hand like 3 times and I just didn't bother about it. I mean, I had to move my hand to stop the paper from like flying in the wind, but other than that, didn't really bother me. And there was like 3 ants the other day there that were just like crawling like around my hand, and I just let them crawl for a bit while I was eating my lunch, and then I had to go, and I was like, well, I can't take these ants with me, so I put my hand down, and then they just kind of crawled away and went back to the wee nest or wherever it was that they lived. And I was like, oh, that's nice, the ants. Yeah, I don't know where this fascination's come from. I had like a very magical experience with an ant one day where the ant I was just eating my lunch, and then this wee ant crawled on my hand, and then it was like all tickly and stuff, and then there was something like really cute about this wee ant crawling around my hand, and I was like, oh, who's a nice wee ant? And ever since then, this was quite recently, I've just had this weird fascination with insects. Like, I want an ant farm and a pet tarantula now. But yeah, I really like insects now. I don't know why, and I want free wallpaper. I know that sounds weird, but I really want free wallpaper, or a flea, like a close-up poster of a flea. But I've decided that I'm not going to get free wallpaper because my mum would think I was lost the plot. So I'm going to get bird wallpaper instead of flea. But anyway, I've noticed that this video is getting really long now. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to answer all the questions in this video, but I will do a part 4 where I will attempt to answer as many as your questions as possible. So I'm definitely doing a part 4 next week. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. That is everything for me today. If you did like this video, then please like this video, comment down below and subscribe, and click on that notification bell so that you'll be notified when my next video comes out. And also don't forget to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is linked in the description down below, and I post updates on that like all the time, so you guys know what's going on with my channel and what changes are happening. So that's everything from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I enjoy making these types of videos, and I hope that I was able to answer some of your questions for today. Goodbye.